Oh, see, this works. The other two things failed because of bandwidth, I think. Um, we'll just see what happens. So, as I tried to say in the other ones, we're back on the XC Falcon project. I did uploaded a video for patrons, and on the steering wheel rested on the Plymouth and also on the XC Falcon. So those two haven't been sort of put out for public viewing yet, just for patron viewing. So yeah, that's what's been going on. The weather's been very hot. I did heaps of work on the car yesterday. So we've got boot lid and bumper on and some of the recolouring stuff on the interior. So that's all looking pretty good. What I want to know is if this is working and if it's permit fluent. Because the other ones I've deleted, they're just too jumpy. They didn't really work. So it remains to be seen. Hello Mike, how are you? Just let me know if this is fluent where you can hear it. And yeah, I'll just suck it and see. Basically, it didn't work before. Hello Liam, how are you? Good to see you. So the bikes I've stopped for now. There's another frame coming from Baz Ford. He's one of the viewers, the supporters that I've sort of come to know through here, and there'll be another one, more sort of not a stock restoration type build, more something I can be a bit creative with because I've got some parts but not others. So we'll just see how that goes, but that can be something for later. There's 3 bikes out there that aren't running. Nice title. Yeah, it didn't work, Geordie. What was the title anyway? See if this works. I tried twice before and it was too jumpy. So we'll just see how it goes. And it's now 10:12 in the morning on New Year's Eve. And I figured I wouldn't bother tonight because no one will be around. And there's not many people around now. So we'll just suck it and see how it goes. So, yep, lots of stuff coming on. Thank you very much, Greg. I like doing the work too. Lately I didn't go out in the garage for a couple of weeks. I didn't really do anything. I had bits of footage from the bikes for a while and bits and pieces from the car as well, which is why some of this has been repeated. But yeah, just a couple of days before Christmas, I just went out there and just knocked it out, had a ball, and managed to spend quite a lot of work doing what I wanted to and without interruption, which before Christmas is quite unusual. It's always a very busy time of year. So that's what I've been doing. There's more stuff coming up in January. Greetings from Belgium. How are you? Is it Eva? Eva? I can't really say your name, but how are you? Good day, Ando. Happy New Year to you and yours. Starting to worry about you too. No, I'm still around. How are you anyway, Mark? Pretty good. So, yeah, that's what I've been doing. Back on the cars now. And just so I'm not going to be just... Yeah, nice to see you too. How are you? Tell me if I like seeing the hard work come to fruition and the immense enjoyment you get from them. I do, but the bikes have let me down. They're not running properly yet. So, is this fluent? I tried before, twice, and it was just dropping out. It was terrible. So, if someone here, there's 18 people at the moment, can let me know if this thing's fluent and it's working properly, that'd be great. Because I don't know if it is. I can't see from here. So yeah, the cars. Back into the cars. Tried to do guard repair on the Starley, my little daily. Those old cars do tend to be focused on by law enforcement. If they look shabby, not too good. Oh no, not again. Yeah, so I tried to do a guard repair and painted it quickly, and yeah, it was the wrong sort of colour, so I don't know how well that's going to be. It's a bit jumpy. What do you do? There's not much point. Yeah, it's got to be NBN. It's got to be, because I never had this problem before. We had to change to NBN. And that's a pain in the neck. That you not only have viewers from New Zealand, I'm actually quite close to Zealand. Oh, good. Good to see you. It's working well with the live chat, that is. All right. I've learned a lot watching your channel. You know so much. I know a bit, a little bit, not too much. There's a lot of guys that know more than me. Sounds okay, sort of. Well, we'll go with it for now. And yeah, if it hangs in there, it hangs in there. Not, yeah, the picture. Yeah. Storms. We had a mild bit of thunder, but it was a fair way away. A fair way away, if you know what I mean. It wasn't like it was right over us or anything. Apparently power went out in East Rimwood, which isn't too far from here. G'day, Manny. How are you today? Good to see you. So yeah, cars. Back into cars. And I'm sort of looking forward to getting some of this other stuff finished. I want to get it to the point where I've just got the front. I'm starting to do the front guard. I haven't got it out yet, but I'm going to start doing. No, this is a shirt. This is a shirt. My daughter gave it to me for Christmas. Yeah, I wanted to get the front of the car. I've got the guard ready to get out and start on that. On the left-hand front for the XC. The right-hand one's got a big dent on the crown. And I want to get that right. And I'm kind of in 2 minds about how to do it. Having a real crackdown, Bellarine Peninsula. Is that Bellarine Peninsula? Is it stormy out there? It's pretty quiet here at the moment. Yeah, so everything's going pretty well. Not much else to report on. Project-wise, yeah, as I said, just another bike coming, but that's just a frame. It's not really a bike. It's just bits. So I'll just gather a few bits and pieces for that, and I'll do it quite quickly. Yeah, the Bellarine Peninsula is nice down there. I wanted to buy a beach house, but I couldn't afford it. Not much else, really. I answered a few questions before. I deleted those 2 things because they're just unwatchable. The 2 other live feeds, they didn't work out. Are you going to be working the XC again? Yes. I was on it yesterday. I made a video yesterday and uploaded it for patrons. I'll upload it for general viewing in the next week or so. There's a couple of them. Shout out, please, Dom the Sausage. There you go, Dom the Sausage. What sort of speed do you get on your NBN? It's weird because I had a sweetheart deal and with Optus with cable, and I had a really good speed with that. And when we had to go to NBN, they were offering me a rubbish deal, and I said I want the fastest and I want unlimited. And they said no. Hello, Rob. And I said, well, I've been with you for 20 years, so what are you going to do? And anyway, they agreed to it. I don't know what the speed is, but what I have noticed is the upload speed with videos is mega fast. A 1080p 50-minute video is just a couple of minutes. Like, not a couple of minutes, but it's probably 10 minutes. You know, it's just bang, straight up, and then processor to release. Still thinking of turboing the Sigma. Yeah, eventually. The Sigma's registered. Took my mother out in it about 3 weeks ago, and it's a good little runner. It's fine. To turbo, I would have to build another engine and find a suitable narrow block. I think it's a narrow block Astron. And I can do something with it then. But at the moment, there's the XC to finish, the 3 bikes out there I've got to finish, and the Plymouth. I want to do some work on that. I want to get the body mounts and everything done on that too. So, you know, it'll take a little while, but I don't sort of see that as all that important because I've got so much other stuff to do and the Sigma's already registered anyway. So it's not really a priority at the moment. Yeah, that's the Sigma anyway. 30 megabytes a second or megabits. I don't know what this is. You had a 302. I had an XC with a 6, and I buggered the 6 up and put a 302 in. Then changed it for a 351 way back in the day. That was a bad one because the 351 came from a car I got. I mentioned this on the other feed. I got the other car from Nielsen Holden that was traded, and it was in the bomb yard. The bomb yard's the wholesale yard where they get rid of cars off to Car City and this sort of thing. Somebody had hit it with paint stripper, and the paint was knackered on it. And it was a manual car, and I bought it for 500. Turns out it was a KDS XA, rare as rare, and had the top loader, the 351 K-Code engine, and a 9-inch. And I stripped it to use the driveline in my 6-cylinder XC, which was just so stupid. Pete, what size compressor would you recommend for touch-up gun? You can use pretty much anything for a touch-up gun. I use a 200 litre per minute. They used to sell them as CFM, 12 CFM, 18 or 6 CFM, whatever. It's a rubbish, well, it's a unit of measurement, but it's not all that accurate. The best way to deal with it or to look at it is by looking at the FAD, the free air delivery. Mine is a 200 litre per minute, which is probably the bottom range of a full gun, using a full-size gun. You can't, you couldn't hook up 2 guys to double gun a car. Do you know what I mean? But for one guy with a regular gun, it's fine, at 200 litres per minute. So a touch-up gun, you could use one of those little direct drive things for that. In fact, I used a direct drive for before I had this one, and never had a problem with it. What have we got? XC is beautiful, thank you very much. TPG 100 at 40 down is highest. I don't know what that is. I don't know what you mean. A Bridgeport RX4. Bop, 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 bop. I've got a friend with a imported RX4, a 2-door one, and he's just got it going. I've never had much to do with rotaries though. My brother had one. He had an RX4 with a 13B. I wouldn't mind one. If I had a bigger shed, I would probably have a rotary and also a couple of Holdens in there and that sort of thing. But my shed is maxed. It is maxed out. 4 cars and 3 bikes in there, and that's it. You know, even the compressor, it's got its own little spot, but I wouldn't even know where to put it if it didn't have that. So, painting's hard in this weather. Yesterday, what did I paint yesterday? Oh, the day before, a couple of days ago, I painted the boot lid, and I had to use a bunch of, what do you call it? Retarder in the paint to stop it going off so quickly. But Max Dad should know that feeling, yeah. I've even got the mower and the garden tools in a garden shed at the back. They won't even fit in the shed. What have you... Oh, Bridgeport. It had a turbo brake traction in the rain at 85 miles an hour. I feel like it didn't flip. That's mad. Wow. That little Sigma I had, the original one that I turboed, that flew. It didn't do that, but it wasn't as quick as that thing, but it was pretty good. It used to get a lot of cars off road. And it just looked stock. At one stage, it just had steel wheels on it, looked like a little nurse's car. But that's a long time ago now. So anyone else got some projects? But an XC3, oh, you had a good XC, yeah. Has anyone got any XCs, any bits you want to sell? What about kick trims? I need a kick trim. I need the stainless mold for the boot lid. If anyone's got stuff like that to sell. Interesting stuff on the channel. Thank you very much. Hi Peter, will you be doing some work on the Big D? What's the Big D? Oh, the XD? Is that what you mean? If it's the XD you're talking about, it needs a service, which I'm not going to film that. But it's also got the brakes aren't that good. They're okay, but they need. I wouldn't mind changing some of the lines, maybe getting the booster done. Some of the lines got rust on them, the steel lines. I don't like that. So there was bits and pieces like that. I've got to put a transmission cooler in it. It's a C4 pan-filled transmission, and it has a small oil cooler that was dealer fitted, which I changed again in 1990 when I did the transmission up. And now I've got a proper PWR one, so I want to put that on. And a few other bits and pieces. I want to give it a polish too because it's all dull. It's not dull, but it just doesn't look as good. Just got 2 free Rover Rover V, I'd hope to do a good one for the MG BGT, rumbling MG. They're good cars. A bloke down the road had one. It had a 3.9 litre one. It flew. You've inspired me to build the express van about a year ago. The 4G63, is that a 2 litre belt-driven one? Oh, timing belt issues. So it's being rebored over the break. Thanks for the videos. Thank you very much, Manny. I keep thinking, I don't know much about the 4G numbers. I know mine's a 4G52, I think, and the 2.6 is a 4G54. The 63 is the belt one, I'm sure. Yeah. I don't know what they put them in apart from L300, so. They're pretty strong little motors, the Mitsubishi motors. So the signals are, what did that have? Steel crank and steel rods and stellated valves, all sorts of stuff in it. There's a lot of stuff in it. Happy New Year, George Jetson. How are you? So New Year's Eve is tomorrow night. We're not doing anything. Susie was actually a bit pissed off about it. She wanted to go and do stuff, but she didn't tell me. Third attempt. Yes, Harvey. Will you be keeping the XC when it's complete? Yeah. You know what? My wife, well, I've had a few cars that I've done work to and I've sold them and then promptly regretted it. The Galaxy is probably the first one that comes to mind. I had a little Murray 1500. That was great fun. But the XC has been a real headache because I bought it as a shell, so I had to source all the parts, which I knew I was getting into that. When there was, with the amount of trouble I had with the metalwork on it when I first got it, it was really disconcerting. So it'll owe about $28,000 when it's finished. And to go through 5 years and 28 grand and then just give it to somebody else, no. I'll hang on to it for a while. MG Tech is working and looking spiffy. Hope this connection lasts this time. Thank you very much. Is it any more fluent than it was? I don't know if it's any more fluent than it was, but it was terrible before. GD 750 water bottle. Now, hang on, what were we talking about there? Oh, I've lost my spot. Hang on, where am I? Will you be doing any more small engine mowers? Love all your vids, even though I'm not a big car guy, keep them coming. I've got to do this Briggs from Buck thing. And I keep looking at it in the shed and thinking, when am I going to do that? And one gentleman gave me a Briggs manual, parts manual and everything, which was no longer in print, and also an electronic emission for it, a few other bits and pieces, external oil filler, all the stuff that I wanted, and I just haven't got around to doing it. I do have to get it all, I want to get it all hydroblasted and make it look good. But it's a nice, cheap, easy job, but yeah, I've got to do it. The moment you do that, because I've got, see, the problem is this, because I've got cars, bikes, mowers, even a washing machine, that sort of thing that I've done videos on. When you bring one out, everyone wants something else. Do you know what I mean? Like the XC, for example, it always comes up when you're doing the XC because I have such a long break from it. And then when you're doing that, it's like, oh, when are you going to do the bikes? It's like, you do what you can. And well, I do what I can when I'm in the mood for it. And then I can sort of arrange them all into playlists. It's probably the easiest way of doing it. 3.9 speed, there's a 2-old 3.5. It's a bit of surgery to get into a 1972, a bit lighter than the B series, allegedly. Yeah, you'd be right. Merlin, I'm back. Hopefully this is a bit more fluent. Robert said, yeah, a lot better. That's good. Big Thunderbirds. Nearly bought a Thunderbird. There was one for, this is years ago, 15 grand. It was a 428. I really wanted it, but I didn't have 15 grand. I once white knuckled my A4 Z900 up to Safety Beach. Yeah, you would white knuckle that. Love your videos, mate. Do you like newer Falcons, like FG, or just old stuff? Actually, yeah, I do like them. I don't know much about them. FG Falcons I was given from a friend who's a pilot, and he gave me, he had a turbo, I don't know what they're called. It was a Fairmont gear, turbo, and all this sort of stuff, right? And he gave me 5 oil filters. These are all K&N, by the way, and 2 big air filters. He knew the air filters wouldn't be much good to me, but he thought the oil filters fit the same as the Z9 that fits every Ford, and they don't. So I'm looking for a home for the 5 new K&N oil filters and 2 air filters. I'll offer it to the Patreon guys first, but if no one wants that stuff, it's just free to good home. Scrapes for exhaust. Air-cooled combi engine is pretty much there. Turns over on the starter, just got to fire it up. Do the cam bedding in process. They're a good little engine, man. They get huge power out of them too. Thank you very much, Greg. Wishing you and your family a very happy new year. Excellent. Thanks very much. Hopefully this year's better than last year. Or 2020 is better than 2019. This year was a hard year for me. I didn't enjoy it at all. Save for the cars, I did enjoy the cars and the bikes. That was what got my mind off a lot of the crap that I had to go through. The engine's looking nice with its twin 40 IDF Webers, but still can't pull the skin off a rice pudding. That could be a lot of the time cars with a lot of engines with a lot of torque low down is because they use really small carbies, small valves, small ports, lots of airspeed, gives good lowering torque. When you start putting Webers and all that sort of stuff on big manifolds, it slows it down, but it makes it really good in the mid-range and top end. And a lot of that probably depends on the porting in the cam as well. Hi from Mildura. G'day, Green JJ. How are you? Always ride your restorations, gives you validations on your abilities. Yes, I can't ride any of them at the moment though because they don't go. I got to finish a few cars, a few bikes. Any plans of taking the family away over the break? Probably day trips this time. I went away. Susie's been away too. She wants to go on a holiday with Rosie in March. But I don't think I'll be able to go to that. Yeah, so we'll probably just have a quiet one at home. You need an FJ to use up those filters then. A Turbo 6 will turn your hair white. Yeah, I've never driven one. I've driven a lot of turbo cars, but not a FG. Apparently they're very quick, very powerful. It's good fun. So, yeah, just getting back into the swing of it. Had a bit of a break from the videos and doing work out there. It's not something I haven't really had a break since I started doing this in 2012. I'm just trying to think. Just small little breaks, I suppose, but I've sort of been more interested in just plodding along and doing it as I can. That way there's no pressure, and that way, you know, people do get disappointed. The ones that worry me are the patron people because they pay for it, or at least they donate funding, and you don't want to sort of start doing stuff that they don't like. But then you got to think, well, it's a hobby. If it becomes a job, it becomes more stressful. Bunnings sells some fuel inhibitor. It keeps fuel fresh. I didn't know that. Combi engines mid-range and vastly improved now, and the inside is less than 8mm. God, 8mm sounds like a lot. Do you still play with electronics, oscilloscopes, logic analyzers, etc.? I've only ever had one scope, and it was years ago, and it was an old thing, and I didn't really know how to use it all that well. The electronic stuff's mainly rudimentary type things. I'm trained in electronics. I got an advanced diploma in electronics at Box Hill, but that was computer field service. But that was a long time ago. That was when we had Windows 98 and Windows NT4, and a lot of the modules in that were from the broad-based electronic stuff, all the theories, but I didn't really do much of it in practice. My daily is an FG Turbo Ute, and it's fast but has no character. I kind of get what you mean with that. I cruise my coupe on the weekends, makes me feel like a kid again. I get that. That's why I'll never have a car like a Tesla. I'd have an electric for just for going to work and back, and that's why I use the little Starlink, just going to work and back. But sometimes the most fun cars are the slow ones, I find. They're good, and they've got character, you're right. That's like the Commodore. That hasn't got any character. That's just a V8 manual wagon. It doesn't really do it for me, if you know what I mean. I enjoy it, but I don't kind of, it's not me, if you know what I mean. Been too hot up there to work on anything in the shed. My shed was 44 in it today. 40, 44? 42 or something yesterday. I still worked in there, as long as I'm not in the full sun. If I'm in the full sun, don't know about it. Good day from Georgia, USA. Love your videos. Thank you very much, Baron. That's wonderful of you to say. Where have you learned all of your knowledge? Well, the bit that I've got, I was a mechanic for a guy in Box Hill who passed away in 1988. and I didn't finish my apprenticeship, so I had to go through the BACC and get my qualification that way, and just from tinkering, really. I've got multiple hobbies, if you know what I mean. So I've always taken an interest in stuff like that, whether it be cars or computing and that sort of thing. I'm not a very good programmer though. I can do it, but I don't like doing it. I was an apprentice when colour TVs were a new thing. That would have been in 1974 in this country. Box Hill Tape, yep, that's where I went. Nelson Campus, the electronics place. Rob's back on about the engine. Yeah, engine was shafted, to be honest, but it done. I was in Europe and it's like not too bad for an old lump. Glad your mojo is returning, by the way. Yeah, it's good. It was always kind of there, but I don't know. The older I get, the more. The older I get, the less tolerant I get for people who just, I don't know, they do my head in. There's a lot of them, and these days it's a different mentality to what certainly existed 10, 15 years ago. Check out our e-bike. Don't be a dinosaur. I'm older than you. Okay. The local wreckers. Yes, the local wreckers is a great place to learn. Particularly when you're taking bits and pieces off, you get to see how they fit and all that sort of thing. When I was in the 80s, I had a Tirana, two-door Tirana. I was looking for the chrome trim, the stainless trim that goes underneath the back window, or the side rear window. It's a two-door car. And there was 3 to pick from back then, but you never see those anymore. I was a fitter and turner in GM circa 1976. That's a good trade, fitter and turner. FIB Goldberg, how are you today? So, yeah, not really much else to report on. I said a few things in the other video that apropos of questions, but I have had to delete them. They're just unwatchable. This one's apparently a bit better. Poor old Harvey, if you're still there. I don't know how you've gone with those bits I gave you. That was a lot of work. Yeah. So we've got, what jobs have we got left? These holidays is more about the XC. I reckon in the next couple of weeks I'll finish the interior off, get all the doors back together in terms of the door trims with the armrests and all the power windows, that'll all be working. And I want to have that other guard done. And then once I've got the headlight buckets on, I've got a bumper. I thought it was a ZH Fairlane bumper, but it's an XC one. I'd forgotten that I had already changed it over, because when I bought the car, it had an XC bumper. I had a ZH Fairlane bumper with it, with the pointy bits on the front. And I'd forgotten that I'd taken it back and he'd given me an XC Falcon one, so I've got the right front bumper, thankfully. And it doesn't look too bad, so I reckon I'll just do what I did with the back one and just give it a buff up and stick it back on. Pardon me. And then I'm sort of well on the way with it. There's still quite a lot of money, though. So the door seals are 2-piece, and I've got to get a full set of door seals for it, which is just, they're a pain in the neck. So I've got to get those, and I've got to get the headlights resilvered. That's the other thing. But as far as other parts are concerned, all your nostrils, your grills, your side marker lights, your badges, the stainless for the sides, I think I've got that. The wheel arch mouldings, all that sort of business. I reckon I'm all right with it. So there's a bunch of stuff I have to get for the XC, but it's not unobtainable. And I've on the little sheet that I use for costing and all that sort of stuff, I've overquoted it to the point where I think there's like $3,000 worth of bits. But I think there should be a fair bit less. I've allowed $800 for an exhaust, because that's what the XW I think was $700, and that's expensive. And I was never happy with it because it was too loud. But so there's bits and pieces like that I've got to get for it. And once that's done, the only car jobs I do would just be smaller ones, because I just haven't got the room now, unless we move. And originally Suzanne did want to move to a property with horses and all that sort of business, and you can do that if you move further out, but I'm not quite ready to move further out yet. What's this say? I might leave that hidden. yeah, so I'll be glad to see that on the road, because once they're on the road, they're easy to use and I can move them around. My garage is such that the Plymouth always has to be parked against the MG, and the two Fords won't fit where the Plymouth and MG are because the workbench is in the way and all this sort of other stuff. So the only cars I can change position of are both of the Fords, which is kind of pointless. It just means moving stuff around is a pain in the neck. But unless I move or unless I put a carport up or something like that, that's just the way it's going to stay. So it's difficult like that because I have made the choice to keep the cars I've done lately. So where do you get your all your energy from for your projects? It's easy. They're like puzzles. Think of it like if you're a hobbyist with jigsaw puzzles and you've got a room and there's 5 card tables set up with a different puzzle and one's all sky and you get sick of it because there's all these blue bits and you can't think where they go. So you go and do another puzzle. That's what I do. I just chop and change between them, and that's what keeps it fresh too. The XC was originally supposed to be a 2-year project, and it's now, I got it in July 2015, so I've had it for nearly 4.5 years. I started it in August 2015. It was supposed to be finished in September 2017, so a 2-year build. And had I not taken anything else on, it would have been finished close to that time. But I kept getting other cars, I kept getting motorbikes and playing with lawnmowers, and I just wanted variety because the car did my head in. Because the amount of damage, and it wasn't the car's fault, it was the owner that had it before me, he just butchered the thing. And I was so busy looking for rust and stuff like that, that the damage was in the metal where he'd cut it, he'd ground it thin, he'd bashed it up, he'd done all, so he tried to fill big holes in just with welding slag, and he'd wrecked it, really wrecked the car. And had I seen that at the time I bought it, I would have passed on it, because a few months after that, an XA Falcon became available, and that was originally what I was looking for. It's Tetris with cars. It is Tetris with cars, but it keeps it fresh. And like this, well, like I said, with that little Starling model daily, I just pulled the guard out of the house, scuffed it up, painted it. It was easy. I didn't put any effort into it. When you see that video, you think, gee whiz, mate, you're a bit of a butcher. I'm just like throwing paint on it, that sort of stuff. It's like, what do you do? I was making it kind of, I was just enjoying myself being stupid because I'm sick of being having to be careful. I just wanted to do something and be careless about it. So energy is not a problem for me. I think had I been diagnosed as a child back in the 70s, I'd have been ADHD. I'm active from the time I get up in the morning to the time I go to bed. I only spend probably 2 hours sitting down, which will be doing this sort of, not like feeds, but answering emails and stuff like that. But most of the time I'm just walking around or in the garden or outside doing something. Please invest in better internet. This is the best one I can afford. Well, this is actually supposed to be the best NBN connection. It's unlimited data and the fastest speed. And as I said, for uploading videos, it's very quick. But it's expensive. No pressure on getting the XC finished, mate. It's just done when it's done. How's Jason going with the Fairlane? He's back on his Fairlane now. I left a comment on his video, which I was a bit surprised about. He got another guy. Originally, I was going to do his engine, and he got another guy to do his engine. I think he wanted to do modified or something. I don't know. And I left a message. The comment disappeared because he got a crank, a 351 crank, for a couple $100 and said, get that thing crack tested, because there was a run of them in the 70s. XC, ZH, P6 were in 77, and mine was full of cracks. And there was about 4 annular cracks on it around the journals. And the comment disappeared. That's not like Jason, I don't know. But yeah, he's back onto it now. But he picks up a lot of work, and he's picked up a bigger front end loader. He's very busy with his work. You're still here. His neighbours are keeping him up. I won't. MG was an easy fix. I've had a good look at the Suzy instruments, and they seem quite repairable. Are you kidding? Wow. Is that word? Harvey's done my instrumentation. He was the one that made the dash on the Sigma. And he's been wonderful. He's so supportive. And the MG, I put an electronic ignition in. and the tack stopped working. But I figured it was better having the electronic ignition because the car just ran so much better with it. And so he's modified it. But the gauges for the Suzuki were terrible, but he reckons not too bad. He's still got a turbo Sigma. Does it live outside of the garage? No, it lives in my mother's garage. Yeah, we were talking about the turbo before. The Sigma's registered on the road, running. I've taken my mother out a couple of times in it. Took my wife in it to lunch again, and because it's running and it's registered, I've just left it because there's too much other stuff to do. But eventually, I will get to it. TIG welder. I haven't got a TIG. I don't know how to use a TIG actually. I don't have much time to watch right now, but I just wanted to say I love your work. Thank you very much, Tommy. That's so kind of you. Will you keep your channel going? Yeah. I enjoy doing this. I enjoy the people. The people are always nice to me. Thanks for all the videos and hard work, Peter. You're a wonderful source of motivation for me. Thank you very much, Ken. I get motivation too, though. It's most important. Watch what other people do. I watch that bloke he does lots of brat bikes and stuff like that. He's always got single overhead Honda 4s, and he's a guy I respected. He's from Austin in Texas, I think. And he was the one I was referring to when he was smashing the cylinder barrels off the 500. I thought, well, what are you doing, man? But I didn't get motivation to do that. But I do get motivation watching what other people do, because some of them come up with really, really good ideas. I don't think that was his finest idea, but some of them do come up with great ideas. Do you watch D3 Shooter? No, he also has a number of projects on the go. I don't know who he is. No, I don't. Gotta go, mate. Some of us mugs have to work over the Chrissy break. Sorry to hear that. All the best for New Year's and make 2020 the best year yet. Thank you very much, Orange Avocado. And I would like 2020 to be the best year yet. That would be fantastic. I'd be really wrapped with that. So what time is it now? It's 1:45 in the morning. This is when a lot of the world's getting up and I'm still up from the day before. So we'll figure out what we're going to do with the other projects. As I said before, XC is the main one that I want to get. That's great. Love what you can teach a lot of people. Thank you very much. Yeah, the XC is the priority. I'm just trying to think what else I need to do at the moment. Hang on, there's some more comments coming. Greetings from Portland, Oregon. How are you today? Thanks for your outstanding content. Delighted to see you with Scott at Cole Motors. That was great. That was Gary, one of Scott's friends, and I talked about it a year before. So we were talking about this time last year. And I said, yeah. And then I thought, no. And then I thought, yeah, because my wife and I can meet in San Francisco, drive down through Carmel and Monterey. I wanted to stay on the Kiwi, not the Kiwi 2, what is it, the Queen Mary. And then she loves Hawaii, and I wanted to do a trip like that, but I meant saving up back then, and we didn't do it. So I thought, well, I'm not going without her. But then she didn't want to go anyway, as in just to Canada. She wants to go. She loves Hawaii and that sort of thing. So it didn't sort of come to fruition until later. But then when we went there, the best thing was actually not filmed, and that's when I rolled up there and I was messing around with Scott's car. And he didn't know I was there. Nobody told him. I think there was about half a dozen people aware of it. Hello, Richard. How are you? I think there was about half a dozen people in on it. But he's a very quiet man, and he doesn't like people on his property looking through his stuff, which is fair enough. I wouldn't like that either. And so we kind of stooged him, and I was lying in one of his cars under the dash, and he came up, and he looked like he was going to shoot me. I actually asked Gary, has he got a gun? He said, no. It's like, was it classing octane and smashing the cylinder head on the bike? As I sent the video and turned me off watching any more of his stuff. Yeah, look, I probably shouldn't mention names, but it was, yeah, you're pretty much on the money. But he's a knowledgeable guy, you know. He's a clever guy. He knows what he's doing. But there's a way to do that. I wouldn't do it that way. Thanks for your great vids, Pete. Have a great New Year's. Cheers to you and your family. Thank you very much. It's lovely to see you. And you've been such a great support for so many years now. Hey man, love your videos, especially on the 350 and 754s. I have an XA Ute that's pretty rooted, and I'm hoping to fix it up over the coming year. Seeing you restore is a big source of motivation. It is, because you do get to the point. It's like a runner, a marathon runner with the wall. They hit the wall, and that's when they are inclined to stop, but they have to push through it and, you know, get their motivation or keep their motivation going. And that's what a car can be like too. You get to the point where you just think, yeah, you know, but, you know, it does come good when you can see light at the end of the tunnel. Night, Peter, heading off to bed. Your content and learning matter that gives, love your content and the learning and manner that you give us. Thank you very much indeed. That's lovely, Petro. A lovely compliment. Richard, I've been doing this. This is the third time I've tried it. I tried it at 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock or something, and the internet was just playing up. So you're not doing a barbecue in January, is that right? You normally do a barbecue in January with the club. So I should probably scat too. How long have I been doing this for? 14 minutes. I'll hang on a bit longer. See if there's anyone else wants to ask anything. I used to want to do this every school holiday, and well, I have been doing every school holiday this year, but it's just been too problematic with this NBN since I got that, because there's been a few times I've tried it, it's not worked, so I've just deleted it, and that's been a pain. Pistol Pete, hope you had a good Christmas, mate. I'm getting bogged down with projects at the moment too. You are, and you're doing something quite difficult. Look at Pistol 85. He's got a YouTube channel, and he's very, very, very good at what he does. He's got a couple of, I think he sold one of his two-door Monaros, and he's got one that he got that was rotted to the core, and he's changed the whole floor out. He's changed the whole bottom half of the car out. But the kicker is this, he's got a small block shed sitting on the floor next to this thing. You think, oh, he's going to stick a small block, but he's sticking a diesel in it. I reckon that's cool. There's something really, really cool about that. But very clever guy. You've got to watch him. Atomic Chili Motor, if you want an interesting person to watch that does a few restorations and fitting unusual engines to bikes, look up Michael Waller. He's a Brit living in the States. Never heard of him. Certainly worth looking at that. Doing an engine rebuild on CB350 Twin, sure, well, if she had a series on that. Never pulled one of those apart. I never pulled the Twin apart. I had a CB200 Twin that I parted out and just sold off on eBay. That would have been 10 or 12 years ago, and I regret that. That would have been a nice little bike to keep. Kate is going bonkers. Keep up the great motivational videos, Peter. Need to go. Thank you very much, Rob, for joining us. It's very lovely. It's lovely to see you. Friend once had a Starion 2-litre turbo. Well, my friend still, well, he had one too. He's the guy that has the rotary now. He's got a few cars. He's got a GTO and everything too. Decarbonizer cylinder head is sexy for a toolie. You're saying some funny things, aren't you? So, where was I? Pistol Pete, yeah, that's right, with the Monaro. So, Valiant, what are you doing with it? You going to keep it? Or you like me, you just let it sit there and just look at it from time to time. The Plymouth's like that. The forward-look Chryslers are, I think, the best-looking cars. I think they just really got it right in the forward-look Chryslers. And the Plymouth I've had since December 2013. No, that's wrong. December 2016. So I've had it for 3 years, and I've never driven it. I've started it a couple of times. I rewired it, and I've cleaned bits and pieces up and done the steering wheel now, and I've done all this work on it, done the dash up, all that sort of thing. But I've never driven it. I'm itchy. And so I'm sort of content just looking at it. I need to get it done though. Oh, did he? Your comments on Jason's video didn't disappear. Jason pulled the video. He made a few less flattering comments in his intro. He did. Okay, so we all swear, right? I swear like a trooper when the camera's off. And if the camera's on and I keep dropping things, it's not, goodness, I've just dropped something. It's, you know, this, that, the next thing, particularly if you keep dropping it or you hurt yourself. And he was doing What was he talking about? I can't remember what he's talking about. And he did. I thought, oh, okay. But see, he can do that. But he can be a klutz with a camera, right? Jason, I went to visit him, and it was really funny. So I never smoke, I never drink, I never swear on camera. But I do all those things periodically off camera, yeah. But the reason I'm like that is because there's kids that watch it from the school, there's their parents that watch it from the school, all this stuff. So I've got to be kind of careful, and that's what I do. So I'll get to Jason's place, and he had a camera, and he had it perched. When he was doing the, it's when he was doing the plenum chamber on his family. And I rocked up, and I pull out a pack of darts and just say, hey, you want to smoke? He goes, yeah, like this. He's got drinks going, F this, F that. The XC is this, the XC is a C, and it's an S car, and it's F, and all that sort of business. I was really annoyed with it, you know what I mean? And I said to him, is that camera on? He goes, no, it's off. And then when he went to film something with me there, he goes, oh, the camera's on. Hang on, I just turned it on. It's like, what? Then he posted it. I was like, mate, get rid of it. So somebody saw it. Oh, yes, my screwdriver. It's something to play with. You're going to poke someone's eye with that screwdriver. Happy New Year. Thank you very much. Okay, so at the bare bones of restoring an XE film on Gear 302, so your video series on Fords are very enjoyable to watch on night shift. Thanks. You should be working, huh? You should be watching videos on night shift. Unusual cars, XE Gear 302. That's a rare car. First time I saw one of those, it had clips on the air cleaner, and mine doesn't. Mine's a very early XD, though. And I always thought, are they supposed to be there? Of course they are. G'day, Pete. Merry Christmas, New Year. Thank you very much, Ben. Yeah, so that's probably about it. XE Gear 302. I keep looking at that. My brother had a policeman friend who he was in an Interceptor. It was like a dark yellow manual 351 XE. Can you imagine what that's worth? They are so rare. And there was one sold through Shannon's, a white 351 XD, and that went for $44,000. Go figure. That's an awful lot of money, isn't it? Value of the old Fords is going up. I've been looking for a project. Holden are the same. Anything 70s, Datsun, Mazda, Toyota. Probably less so Toyota, actually. I'm not sure. But I mean, just an HJ Holden, Kingswood, 6-cylinder column shift in immaculate nick's going to be over 20 grand. And even a crappy one's still going to be 10, 12 grand. That's a lot of money. Hi, Peter. How about doing a restoration on a CX500? Funny you should mention that, because I was watching a guy, what's his name? He's one of these, he's an American guy that speaks like that and does all this crap. Yeah, like a rapper type thing. But he's this sort of skinny white guy. The Inja. It's the Inja. And he did a cafe build on a CX500. And the CX500 has a really weird frame. It's just a small, it's just a backbone. There's nothing else to it because the engine's structural. And I thought that's actually probably a really good bike to do something different with. As it stands, I got another CB350 frame, so I didn't sort of go there. But had one turned up, I would have grabbed it. Really glad you turned me on to Cold War Motors. Proper good guys. They are very good guys. The thing with Cold War Motors, when you meet them, some of them, like, they're very, very, very switched on guys. One of them is a bloody engineer. Like, you wouldn't pick it on the videos. There's a lot of, it's just about their mates, but you wouldn't, you don't get the feeling of what they're like unless you're there. Do you know what I mean? Because there's some pretty upstanding guys there. Monaro, mine got stolen, thank you, yeah. I had a VL Commodore, a Berliner manual, 5-speed manual. My brother bought it new, sent it to HDT. So it had the aero wheels on it, it had stiffen up suspension, the Momo steering wheel, all this stuff. I got it, he had a prang in it. He had an accident in it, and he sold it to me, but the accident was a good repair. There was nothing wrong with it. It didn't bend rails or anything like that. But anyway, a car came out in front of him, and he lost faith that he wanted to sell it. And it was only 2 years old. It was 1988 when I bought it, or 89. I bought it in 89. It was 3 years old. And so I bought brand new Calais stuff for it, the side plastic bits for the doors, because the SLs and Berliners and execs just had, oh, they're probably that wide, the plastic on the door. The Calais actually had a filler that went underneath it. And I bought all them. Brand new Calais taillights, the rear garnish between the taillights, brand new. All the folding headlight stuff, brand new. Put it on. It was like a 5-speed manual Calais. It was just beautiful. And I was looking through the rego check, and I was typing in my regos of old cars I've had to see if any are still around. And the Commodore, the rego was CW464, and I typed it into rego check, and it said it was probably stolen. It's like, oh. In 2003, I sold it in 1992 or 91 or something. What else have we got? Glad I bought my FJ back in the 70s for $150. You can never afford one now. No, you can't. Hey Pete, cheers for the shout out. No worries, Ben. Please do a video when you give your XT a buff and new roof paint. Yeah, I've got to paint the roof on that. I'm pissed off about that. I painted the car about 12 years ago, and it's been living under covers. And covers are all right, provided you take them off, you drive the car around, you just keep the car running. You just got to keep them going. If you let it languish under a cover, they just turn to muck. And I didn't know, but those Auto Technica covers are great, but you get pretty much a year and 4 seasons out of them in full sun or in the elements, and then they start to, the UV breaks down the PVC, whatever it is. So it had sat under there for a couple of months with wet paint, and the paint had obviously got under the clear. There must have been a scratch or something, I don't know. The water got under the clear, and it's ruined the paint on the roof. Thankfully, XDs are very square, and I can just paint the roof and leave the rest, just buff the rest out, and it look like new again. 308 Donk, what a piece of, I don't agree with that. 308's pretty good. 253s are probably better. 308s had problems rounding out cams and that sort of stuff, but they're alright. How are we going for time? 52 minutes. I'll see an hour. I'll do an hour, and then I'll pull the pin. And then you can probably call this one a bit more successful than the other ones, if anyone's got any other questions. January's coming up. That's always a very productive time for me with projects and that sort of stuff, particularly if I'm not going away, and I don't go away that much, really. But the XC, I've got to beam up on it about that, mainly because of space. I'm sick and tired of bits and pieces lying around. I've got to do Jason's wiring loom as well. I'm doing the wiring on his Fairlane, and he doesn't like doing wiring. He's helped me so much with all the trimming on all the cars. So, yeah, we'll just see how it goes, but I've got to wire that. I've got to talk to him also to see what else he wants. I wired up his wagon, his XW, and he wanted two-way tailgate, or the switch gear done for the tailgate, and electric window on the tailgate. He wanted stereo and all that sort of GT dash, that sort of thing. So I did all that. But his Fairlane, I think the only option is putting in his air conditioning. It didn't have air conditioning, and that's a dead easy modification to do. So I've got to do his wiring too. But I've got to ask him if he wants it in fabric wrap or taped or what. Been scouring eBay, I suppose you mean. Here in the UK, 1963 Humber Sceptre. Gee, that'd be rare. Humber Sceptre is like a Hillman Minx, isn't it? It's a Roots car, obviously. Humber Sceptre. Is that the Minx, the same body as the Minx? No, damn reliable car, those Minxes. I remember those. What have we got? Oh, here we go. I sold my HD Monaro for $450 way back when it was riddled full of rust. The bloke who bought it put the motor in a boat. Mine was a 186S. The one I had, I should say. I didn't have it for any length of time. It was a blue HT GDS with the Opel 4-speed, which is apparently the bad manual, and a 186S. Would I love that car now? Wow. The Holden 2-doors I like a lot more than the Fords, which going to get pelted and shot at for saying that, but I just love the HKTG 2-doors, just beautiful. I just want to say cheers, really enjoyed the channel, and hope you enjoyed your trip to Edmonton. I did enjoy my trip to Edmonton. Most of that was because of the courtesy, or the hospitality. And Scott's brother took me out where I was out with him for the day, just driving around, had some coffees and stuff like that. Met his family and all that sort of business. It was really, really good of them. I really enjoyed that. Scenery-wise, much of the scenery I got was around Scott's yard and around the hotel and stuff like that. I didn't really go out for go into the scenery, but it was such a good time. I really enjoyed it. I actually really enjoyed it. I enjoyed it more than I thought I would. Because when I left, it was sort of, I wanted to meet these guys, but it wasn't sort of about that. It was more about, I just need to get out. I've had a rotten year, and I just need to get out. And so it was the best thing I could have done. Yours was a 308. That is so rare. An HG 308. That would have had the central oil filler too, wouldn't it? They're nice. They're a really, really nice car. If you want to start advancement on the CB750 Honda, Honda built a CBX 750. It's a 4-cylinder 16-valve engine, but it's one of the few bikes with hydraulic lifters, so no valve adjustment. Didn't know that. I know they built a CBX 550 because it wasn't a sidewinder exhaust. Three of the headers went this way and then one went right across. And it was like an X. I remember that, CBX. I remember them when they were new in the early 80s. Haven't seen one since. CBX 550. Nice bike. A really nice bike. So, what else do I need to do? We're talking about moving at one stage. And my shed is 6 meters by 10. And I thought, what would I like? What would be the ideal? And I thought, double and double. So 20 meters by 12 would be huge. Then you'd still run into the same problem of just filling it. So you've got to hold on to, you've got to sort of make do with what you got. And I'm pretty lucky. I mean, most guys haven't got a shed like mine or cars, you know. I'm pretty fortunate. So I can't really sit here and say, you know, I want more, because I'd feel a bit bad saying that. The Model T at Scott looks ace. I've never driven a T. I had no idea how to drive a T. That was a great experience. And that Wolseley I had, that's nearly finished. That was a 1937. It was a series car. Something like a 1.8 litre 6-cylinder. And I kind of regret selling that too. And I knew it would, but look, what do you do? But that was a good experience, and surprisingly torquey, that thing, you know. I thought, gee whiz, it wasn't like I thought it would be. I thought, you know, a kid on a skateboard would be quicker, but no, it's motored along quite well. I was most surprised with it. All right, well, it's now 1 o'clock in the morning. I still haven't had a shower yet. I've got to go have a shower. And I've got to get up tomorrow because I've promised a guy over the road that he wants to go pick up a lathe, and I've got to strap the trailer to the XD and go down to Croydon to pick up a lathe with him at 8:45 in the morning. So making tea from the radiator. That was yeah, he included that, didn't he? I spat it out. That wasn't my idea, but that worked out alright. Yeah. He hasn't got tea. I didn't drink tea there. I was there for a fortnight. Never drank tea, and I didn't miss it. I was judged to drink soft drink. And I don't normally drink soft drink here, but it was just easier because I was away from the house, sort of out of the yard and out and about. So it was just easier like that, just drinking soft drink or water. That's about all I had. Anyway, I am going to say goodbye, and it appears that the next time I start doing live feeds, it's going to be better if I get on at this time of night, because 8, 9 o'clock, 7 o'clock in the evening, whatever, everyone's on the internet then, and the bandwidth is so rotten. So I'm going to say thanks to the people who joined. Thank you very much indeed, and I wish you all a very happy new year. 2020 should be a good one. And I'm hoping that it's one where I can finish some bikes. I've got all the, see you guys, it's Green Jojo and Ben, see you later guys. I've got all the stuff almost finished. The XC is not far. Yeah, it's a bit of money on it. The CB750 needs a set of exhausts. It needs a seat because the seat frame's knackered as well. It needs stuff like that. But it's nearly done. the CV350, I've just got to get the cylinders bored and I can put it back together. The rest of that's done. The TT50 I gave up with because I couldn't start it. Might be a crank seal thing, but I don't think it is. Well, it should still run, put it that way. So there's all these things which are so close to being finished. You know, that 1 year, and I'm hoping it's this year, will be the one where I knock a lot of projects off. I'd love to start the year with pretty much nothing to do. That'd be good, because then I can go looking for something. But I don't know where to put it. So I'm pretty lucky, though. I'm pretty fortunate, and I should just be happy with what I've got. Good luck, Peter. Keep up the good work, and always interested to see your videos and learn something. Thank you very much. Atomic Chili Motor. Andrew, good night, Peter. You make this world a better place. Thank you very much, Andrew. That's a lovely thing to say. And life is a blurred crusade. Thank you very much as well. So I'm going to say thank you very much for joining, and have a happy new year. And I'll see you in the next video. There are 2 that are finished that the patron people have got, and they'll be uploaded in the next week. And there'll be more content on the way as well. So have a lovely time. Lovely new year. Look after yourselves and take care, and I'll see you around.